All check, 3 players.
Check.
150.
150.
You can't tell
Pass.
if Neil thinks he's bluffing or thinks he has the best hand.
Cool.
Call.
That's a good call by Mike. Because Neil didn't bet the flop with another player behind him, he doesn't believe him for an ace.
2 players.
Check.
Check, showdown, please.
Check, check. This pot, 650 quid.
We have queens.
And Neil says, das
Ten.
gut.
What's the bet win?
Nice hands.
That ace scatter would
Yeah.
You know, when you've got a big pocket pair like queens or kings, Simon, and the ace comes down, you're stacking up the pot is one of the nicest feelings you can have. Your heart
Yeah, no,
just
this
jumps
is
a
a bit
beat, doesn't it, when that ace hits the
Yeah.
board?
Absolutely, Jesse. I mean, if either of the other two, Neil or Marcel, had actually bet at that pot on the flop, Mike would have had to lay it down. Instead, when the bet came on the turn, he was pretty sure he was still winning with the queens, and he made a good call. Plays a monthly tournament with his friends. So far, I think his friends are going to be a bit worried by watching just how well he does play.
make it 300.
Raise to
It's a
300.
big raise, isn't
Folded
it?
around to Marcel Rocash, who, my God, 300 is a huge stick 'em up.
Oh, what's Paul think? Oh my! I was wondering what Paul was thinking about.
Call.
Oh, wow.
Pass.
Paul McPhillips is playing at the role of bear trapper. And he's got a big black felt hat in the jaws of his teeth.
2 players.
$200.
200.
This is tough for Marcel. Marcel didn't want action when he raised that 300. Now he's got it.
Pass.
And this pot,
Keep on all these big pots.
well, he's done well to get away from it.
Yeah, it's always the way. Had a pair in the hole there.
Ace king, isn't it?
If it was ace king, you wouldn't be that cool.
Marcel doesn't like playing against me.
Pardon?
That's twice now.
Well, I had a better hand
Scared
this
of
time.
you.
That time.
I love the buzz. You know, when you get a good hand, you win a stack of chips. It's a great feeling. And equally, gives me something to do at night times when my wife's out working. I think the biggest differences between playing online and a live environment is just simply keeping hold of your emotions. It's easy when you're sitting at home in front of a PC and you win a great hand, you can jump about, no one sees you. It's totally different in a live hand. You know, if you've got pocket aces, you have to hide your smile.
So Paul McPhillips moves into the chip lead with 25.50. Marcel is the short stack with 13.75, but it's still early days, anyone's game. We're still first level here, Simon. 25 and 25 blinds, 300 and 400 pounds bet being thrown like sawdust at a wedding. Neil Jervis now in the big blind. Well, Marcel,
Raise to 50.
he's playing a bit like he's got a train to catch here, Simon, but he's getting a big rush of starting hands.
Interesting. Raised to
Pass.
300 previously, and this time just raises to 50.
Pass.
Double Cinque, 2 5s for Marcel
Call.
Rocash. This pot 3-way now. Neil Jervis in the big
3
blind.
players. Check.
First to speak. 8-6 deuce on the flop. Pretty raggedy flop. Oh my. He called with, well,
I think Neil's still suffering from jet lag.
100.
Marcel raised and Paul called, and Neil called with 6 deuce. But he's going to like this flop, isn't he?
Raise.
he's going to love it. Paul Davis is on the nut flush draw.
Raise
And
to
Neil, with
350.
flop 2 pair, has just chased Marcel out. But it will be 250 pounds more on Paul Davis, and he'll check back to make sure. Little does he know he's drawing dead to a heart.
Well, he's certainly not thinking of passing, that's for sure. 2 overcards and a nut flush draw.
Call. Thank you.
Well, if a 10 or an ace comes on the flop, this could be a huge pot.
What if it's the 6 of hearts?
2 players.
Wow. 5 hearts does a flush make, and Neil
300.
Jervis has gone deep. Paul Davis is sitting there with the stone cold garbanzo beans.
Yeah, Neil's put a bet out here to find out if he has got the flush, but obviously Paul's an experienced player. He's just going to call this.
Call.
Another heart would save Neil for sure, but obviously if it pairs up,
Does Neil know where he's at?
yeah, he'll check it now.
Check.
I think I'll bet.
How much is in the pot? 1475. 400 or 500?
500.
Turn on
500.
the faucet, says Paul. This this pot is too dry.
How does it feel to be sitting there with the stone cold nuts? Obviously knew that he was winning on the flop. Is he going to make this call?
Please call, please. It's a very tough fold there, isn't it, Simon?
Well, the reason he bet on the turn was to find out.
Fold.
Good play there.
Good bet.
Good
Pass.
solid play by
Incredible
Neil.
laydown. The world traveler taught a lesson in current events by the teacher. Paul Davis with a nut flush on the turn, taking the money. So just to reiterate, Neil made 2 pairs in that hand, but Paul made a flush, 5 of the same suit, and that is much higher up on the poker ladder. Blinds have been raised. Second level now, Simon, 25 and 50 pound blinds. But this game is on already, isn't it?
Well, Jesse, I mean, we've only had one level, as you say. We're into the next level, 25-50. These guys started with 2,000 in chips, and already we have a big chip leader. Paul Davis, our teacher from Burtonwood near Warrington, he's up to 3,300 in chips.
Pass.
Our short stack
Pass.
is Neil Jervis from Belfast. He's still in the game, though. He's got 1,300 in chips.
3 players in this pot. Neil playing from the small blind with
3 players.
Big Lee Boo, but not no more.
Check.
I mean, if you
Check.
got the 8 deuce of hearts and you flop a pair and a flush draw, you can't really ask for much more, can you?
No. And he's going to assume that Paul's got an ace here.
Call.
Call. Pass.
Well, I'm surprised he just called there. I would have raised. A pair and a flush draw, I like to push that.
This is the exact reverse of the situation
2 players.
from just a hand ago.
Check.
Neil on the flush draw now, Paul on the pair. And Paul is the instigator, the pumper.
100.
100.
It's not a very big bet.
That's deliberate. He's priced him in for the flush draw. He's got away from it.
Pass.
Wow,
Bad habit.
Yeah, bad habit, he says.
that was amazing. Neil just doesn't want to be seen to be a chaser, does he, Simon?
No, well, as I say, I mean, really the way to play his hand was to push in. But he chose to call, and Paul's come out betting again on the turn, and this time he's thrown it away.
I started playing poker a few years ago. I used to do a bit of betting on football, soccer, and the website I used to bet through had a promotion. They opened their poker room and had a promotion. If you deposit 30 quid, you get 30 quid free. So I thought I would try it out, and I liked it. It feels good taking money off my mates, but I don't do it as often as I would like, because most of them are quite good players themselves. But yeah, it's always good just to get a bit of niggle in afterwards.
And remember, for more information on the next series, go to www.channel4.com/poker. And Neil
Pass.
been fighting out of a hole since the tournament began.
100.
Raise to 100.
Double the bet from Marcel Rokesh, who did not apparently come here to go down without a fight. Trying to get busy, doubling the bet.
Call.
And he's found a customer in Mike Shaw. Mike on the PP pocket pair.
2 players.
Check.
Check.
Now,
Check.
it'll be interesting to see if Marcel can get this pot that he's not really entitled to, Simon. He
Check.
doesn't have the best hand.
Check.
Will he bet it?
Well, that's made no difference, so I don't see any more action taking place.
100.
100.
But Mike has different ideas.
Marcel could conceivably think he's winning with the ace.
Call.
That's what he's done. He's called it. He wants to see it. I don't believe you. We never have met. But now, Mike meet Marcel. Marcel meet Mike.
Well, we're looking